Hello, 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 and welcome to the first annual, part one of Inking Blood Force, issue 6. Come on. And of course, we got all sorts of challenges. So hold on, get your snacks while I set this up correctly. All right, where are we? Welcome, one and all. Let me get my tools. All right. All right. We had our first snowfall here. That's not good. Okay. I have to do some brush maintenance. Jesus Christ, I'm not prepared. All right. I'm selling these if you want. Doing 9x6 pieces. You'll notice I only have half a cover here. That's because my printer decided to say you need to do some maintenance on it. It figures. But all right, we got nobody watching, so let me go wash my brush. There we go. All right. You're all alone. Wash the brushes after you use them. Always wash your brushes correctly after you use it. Luckily, I have backups. It's okay. All right. So, you can hang out with me. I'll be starting shortly. You went away. There. I think I can go with this. I don't know. It's just background noise. All right. Let's not play with that right now. All right, I want to adjust this a little bit. Looking bluish, so that's up and down. Nope. That's the party lights. Sorry about this. I hit the wrong button. Now I'm gonna have to play until. All right. No. All right. Yeah, it's the white one. Turn this on. All right. I think that's doable. And everything is off. What's this? Don't need you. Fix my camera. Hold on. Jeez. Off to a great start. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Straight to the feed. Yes, yes. I am back. I swear, I'm back this time. What am I? Minutes into a stream and I've just begun. Okay, so note. I printed this out before, but I wasn't happy with it because where it connected with the other side of the cover, it was trimmed like 1/8 of an inch on either side. So I had to reprint it out. And before I printed the other half of the cover, I got a maintenance box. Not update, but on my printer, I had to clean the maintenance box. I've had this printer a couple of years, and that's the first time that showed up. So after the stream, I'm gonna have to check out what that is and what I have to do. Something about putting it in a plastic bag or something. I have an Epson Workforce 7720 if you're interested. It's a giant printer scanner. Mostly use it as a scanner and printing out pages. So yeah, it's a lot of information, I know. To find even my French curves aren't this big. But I'll find somehow to do that. starting up this piece today. I'm just essentially getting a handle on it. Before I get into any type of details. The picture quality is good. That's cool. I have it. It's awesome. Never tried printing blue pencil scans on it. 11 by 17 on it. Well, as you can see, I print in red. For some reason, and this is a while ago, the blue started jamming. So I was like, screw it, print it in red. And I like red much better to ink off of. So, welcome, Sheldon. I'm what they call a spinner when it comes to working on pages and whatnot. So if you're adverse to that, then I'm sorry. This will be much more fun tomorrow to watch me work when I actually have some basics down on paper. Tomorrow I'll be joined by the artist himself, Mitch Brewer. And tomorrow I have set up for 2 in the afternoon. Is that what you do? Like you're a pro inker. Yes, I'm a spinner. I mean, I'm amazed. I'm flummoxed by any artist I see that can just work without spinning a page. Now, mind you, if I grow up in an age of the internet, I might have adapted to it, but I'm a little set in my ways. having just, like never learned how to, or if it was even a thing. I see so many artists, but not everyone. There's still plenty that spin the page. That's how it goes. So if you didn't already know, I forget, I don't think I put the, what do they call it? Playlist, this week's playlist down below, but you could just, on my channel, you get a playlist and it pops up. Oh yeah, it's my cat Rocket, who was outside but knocked on the window to come in. So I'm excited to work on this and honored that Mitch made a piece for me to work on. I'm going to stick to what he's got here and just tighten it up a little bit and maybe throw some enhancements around. But I personally think this is going to be gorgeous, especially once it gets colored. What's his colorist name? Lee Cabrera? Maybe? Only person I've seen not spin a page while inking was Dave Finch, and he called them sketches, not something for Final Comment Pro. I could have sworn I've seen Finch spin a page. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen him work, but he's got a fantastic YouTube channel. I've been inking since 1991. I really didn't get a computer. Maybe it was 2006. I know it was before Facebook. Because I was on Yes Buddy. My cat meowing in the background. No, buddy. No. Go. My cat wants to jump on me. Hey, Montoya. Welcome. My cat is usually pretty good about keeping his distance when I have opening. Every once in a while, he gets close. Do you want to go outside again? I know it's boring in here if I can't lavish you my attention. So yeah, I was on MySpace for a couple years before Facebook. The only reason I got on Facebook so quickly was my friend's girlfriend was in college at the time, and she mentioned this thing called Facebook, and that, you know, only kids in her school were able to get on, but that they were opening it up to the public. And as soon as they did, I jumped on it. And now we have everybody showing up. Let's see. He did say he doesn't spin pages when he's recording video, but doesn't when not recording. Ah. Hey, it's Biff. Holla. And everybody's saying hello, hello. Welcome, one and all, guys. Hey, Biff. How do you know when to use brush and when to use quill? Really, it's just it's a feeling or what your preference is. Yeah. Now, mind you, for today, I think I'm gonna stick to the big details, outlines and whatnots. So that definitely calls for brush. I like to do little figures, very tiny details with quill. Although I could go bigger, and depending on like his hair here, it's a little stiff looking, and I could probably do that kind of look with quill, but I usually like to do hair with brush, because hair is like water looking almost, if it's done right. But you know, like most of me early on, I was using brush, and you know, like many people, it kind of took me a while to learn quill. I almost had to be forced at first to use a quill, but now I love it. But for big lines and, you know, big detail or big outlines, you know, like brush is best. But I happen to love both, so I could almost forget what I'm using sometimes. If you haven't already, please throw a like on the video so more people can see it. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you're watching this later, leave a comment down below. All that YouTube stuff. So yeah, you know, I've been online for quite some time. I've been inking for quite some time. If you didn't know, I've worked for Marvel and DC. Most of my DC work, well, all of my DC work, was on Aquaman. I was on that on and off for 4 years. I have a copy. I posted about it recently. I have a copy of the Peter David Aquaman book, Omni. omnibus, which has all my Aquaman inks in there. And that was me and Jim Calfury. And that was a blast. That was my first real book. Actually, it's, as far as my career goes, I've done more miscellaneous work than anything. Not exactly the fast inker. But I was with Marvel for like 3 years, and that was a lot of X-Men work, although it was like a couple pages here, a couple pages there. You know, I worked on Cable and Wolverine and Deadpool and Uncanny X-Men. Other X titles, but just random pages. It's crazy. I bought a couple of Raphael Lances, but have too intimidated to use them. Had them for over 10 years. Oh my god. You know, I looked for some of those not too long ago. Like, I got some backups, but these are all Winsor Newtons. But at the time I bought those, I was looking for some Raphaels, and they put a ban on the U.S., bringing them to the U.S. because I think they're made of horsehair. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that still exists or whatever, but Raphaels are a step above, definitely, Winsor Newton. But both are great, you know, if you know how to use them. I've yet to do the YouTube spiel on my vids. I remember to do it one day. Yeah, gotta do the spiel, man. If you want to support the channel, I have a PayPal link. You can throw me a tip. You could also become a Patreon, where I'm reconfiguring my Patreon page and going to focus on a comic I'll be making there called Nice Monster, co-written with a friend of mine, Jay. And I'll be penciling, inking, co-writing, coloring that book on the Patreon page for paying customers. More on that when I get shit done. At what point? I mean, okay, so I imagine everybody knows that I have a brother also in the industry. You know, we grew up liking a lot of the same things, comic books and movies and art. And as fate would have it, we both wound up in the comic industry, have a talent for it. And, you know, I'm the starving artist, but he's a highly successful one. But you know, he was the inker originally, and he occasionally does some inking, but mostly he's a writer now, and he also colors, which is something I'll be getting into soon enough. What do you want, buddy? You want to go out? I don't trust the cat when opening. Here, you want to go out? Go out, buddy? What's out there? The other cat is out there. I can't have all the cats running around. Here. Kitties. What are you gonna do? Wait. Your brother Jimmy. Woo-hoo. Yes, that is me. Welcome. Dumbest name. Who will comment get printed or you post the pages? Nice Monster, that will be exclusively on Patreon. I may eventually like publish it, but it will at least be, you know, if you're a patron, you'll get it first. Let's see. I know I'm missing out on. It's the hair of some kind of rodent in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the Raphael brushes. And yes, Jimmy's my brother, and that means Amanda Connor is my sister-in-law, if you know Amanda. Jimmy Palmiotti is your brother? That's funny. I was looking at Casada Palmiotti and Kevin Smith's run on Daredevil. Well, if you were looking at Daredevil, then some of the backgrounds I ink. I distinctly remember inking like pews in the church. So if you highly appreciate those pews in the church, you want to go out, buddy? Meow. Oh, it's wonderful not having a separate studio. Hold on, folks. Come here. Yeah. Cats. Yeah, Jimmy's great. You know, what has he got? He's got a 4-issue Daredevil, no, a 4-issue Punisher miniseries with Dan Pinoza. He's got a single issue Daredevil Punisher book. Both that he wrote. He's got a bunch of stuff going on. But then so do I. I got like 12 projects I'm dealing with right now. You know, doing this is a lot. Doing, like, you know, saying that I'm going to ink this wraparound cover on my YouTube channel. I got like a couple of books I'm working on, graphic novel, my friend's book, Hawk New York, I'm making an issue of that. This guy goes by Apex Online, Brett. I'm making a batch of pages for his Madam X book. I'm penciling and inking a book I'm co-creating, writing called Icebox, which is a cyberpunk, essentially TNA book that everybody should look forward to. Pets, I have a dog that turned 15 today. Aw, what's his name? Always wanted him to improve production along Page Stakes, the monthly, weekly book schedules seem like madness. Yeah, it's like, I mean, that's why I've had a career that isn't like batches of books in a row. Like I've jumped from one thing to another and another. I'm just, most of my career, it's like I've just been happy to be working, and I'm not the fastest. I'm very particular. I'm very perfectionist. I would say I'm a page a day kind of guy, but especially lately, I'm working on multiple things at the same time. So progress is slow on a bunch of things. But if I like had a great page rate on one project, that's what I would be doing. But rates are lower and blah blah blah. It's a whole thing. Now I gotta stream at the same time too. Yeah, streaming and working, it's a lot. But thank you all for coming, by the way, every one of you. When she gets upset, she wants until I get her a treat, pet her, take her out, get her a blanket, etc. Yeah. I mean, it's just like my cat Rocket comes in, hangs out with me for a little bit, whines, wants my attention. What are you gonna do? I mean, we love them, right? We love our pets. I'm actually been thinking about getting him a buddy, because lately he seems just to be like, I feel like he's totally ignored because I've been so busy. So I'm gonna see over the weekend. There's a rescue just outside of the town I live in. I'm out in Kentucky. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, so there's a rescue I'm really good friends with, and see if they're willing to let me borrow a cat for the weekend or a couple days. See how Rocket adapts to another cat. Hang out here. I'm doing like straight edges here. It's mostly because I could fine tune it later, but I do love doing like text stuff with a brush. Yeah, so speaking of my brother before, at one point he was the inker on Solar, Man of the Atom for Valiant Comics. I believe that the penciler was a guy named Peter Grau. and Peter penciled a lot of tech stuff, and I was assisting my brother, and I go in and ink the backgrounds and brush. Man, it was a lot of buildings and mechanical stuff and whatnot. It was a blast. There was one page that was almost exclusively all machinery or whatever the hell it was. Yeah, I'll fine tune all this later. Just throwing down lines today. I'm on the pages with the few. Nice work. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that, you know, the Daredevil's series with Joe and Jimmy on it. It was really good. You know, and you know, Kevin did a pretty good job writing Daredevil. And I remember, like, Jimmy had to yell at Kevin to get the script in, because, you know, Kevin's written a lot more since then, but it was his first big book to write back when. And Jimmy's good about just being honest with people. It's like, you know, we need this script in so Joe could pencil the pages, so I can ink them, so the book can get done, blah, blah, blah. I got to meet Kevin, I think it was San Diego, might have been New York, many years ago. Said hello, shook his hand. It's back when he looked exactly like Silent Bob. So I know nobody here can probably throw links into the chat, but if you want to promote anything you got going on or working on, want to talk about it, go right ahead. What I could do is, after today's stream, I could give you all wrenches. So next time you come by, you could actually throw links. But for now, you'll have to suffer without wrenches. Suffer. Yes, expanding the wrench collection. I wish there was somewhere in what the heck is it called? The behind the scenes of YouTube. I forget the name of it. Anyway, I wish there was a place back there where I could see exactly how many people I've given wrenches to and who are they. Because I've given out a lot of wrenches, but none of those people are currently here, so. feel like a ratchet. I don't need a claim. It's one thing I haven't done on my channel is play video games, but you know, I was a gamer back in the 80s. before being a gamer was a thing. You know, I was telling a friend of mine, it's like I would love to play something like that's involved. Like I used to play, you know, like early Resident Evil or Tomb Raider or Final Fantasy VII was my favorite. I don't know if I played much of the other ones, but like I need a game that sucks me in and keeps me going for hours and hours and hours. It usually takes like 60 hours to play one of those games. I won't really have anything to show for about a month. I'll have a Kickstarter sign up for a 60-page horror comic. Oh, really? Interesting. Very, very cool. Here they are reintroducing Intelligent. Is that like the third time they're doing that? Because the first version had the worst joysticks in the world in television. That first Resident Evil was incredible. Yeah, like the first 2, 3 were similar, right? If my memory serves. I definitely played the first 2 all the way through. I know they've been revised and improved on in recent years. But to me, those are like real games. Those are like, you know, because I played, you know, back in the 80s. I remember a close friend of mine and me used to work at the same place, which was off Park Avenue. And on Fridays we get paid. So Friday evening after work, we'd run over to Times Square, which was close by. And back in the 80s, there were 3 big arcades in Times Square, and we spend a good part of our our weekly check right away at the arcades. Like foolish children that we were. No Finn's place, but they were pretty big arcades. They're gone now. I haven't been in New York since 2008, I think. So I'm due for a visit there. You know, most of my family now, it's like we're, you know, all originally from New York, but everybody but me is in Florida. So I have 3 older brothers. Jimmy is the next one up. I'm the youngest of 4. I played Resident Evil 2 first and then found the first. Both were fantastic. I would barely make it to school on time, staying up most of the night playing it. Yeah. I mean, I had a Atari with all the cartridge games. I remember one day I was sick and I literally played, it was a game called Yar's Revenge for 8 hours straight when I was sick, which wasn't a good idea, but a lot of fun. awful lot of fun. So I already spoke with Mitch, who will be here tomorrow, about possibly having this cover put up onto the current campaign once it's fully inked. Meaning the original, my original inks essentially for sale for a pledge level. So I think that's what we're going to be doing. So if you love what you see and want to have it and own it and put it in your house, then that's a possibility. Them old long games where you couldn't save progress. Well, that was before like Resident Evil, right? Yeah. As far as I remember, you could save your progress on that, unless it wasn't like you couldn't save it everywhere. I think it's been so long, I only remember parts of it. That would be cool. Also cool if Lee can color. I believe that's probably what's going to happen. Since Lee is his colorist, Lee does fantastic colors, and I haven't love for him to color this. Me and my friend didn't know you could erase slots on the memory card, so we thought it was full. We got so good at Resident Evil 2, we could beat the game with one life. Oh my god. I remember playing it. I don't remember being competitive about it. You know, like Electronic Arts is a popular maker of games, mostly sports games. But early on, they were really into making games that were different and original, and one of them was called Mule, and Mule was like Monopoly, like the board game, but it was a video game version of it. In that game, I was competitive. Actual page inks on a wall are the greatest. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Makes me rethink my own dying devotion to controls in digital. Never heard of Mule. It's M.U.L.E. It means something, but it's like a visual interpretation of the game, and there are actual mules in it that you control and do stuff. Hey, what? What's your comic about? Nice Monster? My Patreon future game? Comic? I guess it's sort of horror-ish. It's just my excuse to have a character you like and support facing monsters. And those monsters could be anything, like kind of just gonna drop them into a dimension where anything from like a knight can show up, or a dragon, or anything really. Like, I haven't really developed a lot of villains, but it's just my excuse to be able to draw anything I want to at the moment. But I thought it would be kind of cool. You know, it starts off a little bit of a tragedy, because it's about this kid who has that sort of body aging disease. So he's in grade school, but it looks like he's early 20s, and he's just like giant and this big kid, and he's essentially the nice monster. So he becomes our hero, and he gets teleported, something. We haven't exactly written that part out, but he gets put in a different dimension where all these monsters pop up in situations and whatnot. You know, it's not heavily involved in story. It's just an excuse to make something fun. But you know, if you notice my name, Peter Retro Poliani, I also have a character called Retro. Retro is my superhero that I invented in my late teens and developed over the years, sort of inspired by comics from the 60s to the 90s, a little bit of heavy metal and other things thrown in, and he's doesn't really exactly have superpowers per se. He's stronger, he's faster than the average person, he heals quicker, but he is the master of parkour. You know, if you ever seen like Captain America or Daredevil comics, you know, like they jump and bounce around, so that's what Retro does. And I got the first issue fully penciled and inked, and you know, all this, like I said, I have a ton of work right now. Eventually I'll be able to finance myself working on Retro, and you know, take a block of time out and focus only on coloring it. Then I'll, you know, it's like I scripted it 100 times, but I haven't nailed it down per se. I still want to rewrite it. You know, it's something that's more fun for me than actually a problem. But I have a friend of mine who's going to letter it. I have somebody else who's going to do the production on it, because you know, it's like my computer skills are only to a certain point. You gotta have other people to do the technical stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited about just working more on my own comics than working for other people. Yeah, I'm going to be doing digital colors. I have Clip Studio Paint, but I also have an iPad with Procreate. and I'm kind of leaning towards Procreate at this point in time. I watched a couple of videos on Procreate not too long ago, and I was like, well, that could be, simple enough. I am going to approach it in a very 80s style initially. Like, if any of it's splashy, it will be as I learn the program and the methods along the way. But initially, it's going to look more like an 80s comic. Maybe like old cartoons or like anime styles. Sometimes they do something very like, this color is this color, and not a lot of painting. And because once you get into too much painting, it gets too heavy, too much. I'm very particular about how I like things colored. Like I said, Mitch's colors, Lee, I think he does great work. I think he does a great job with his colors. He doesn't go overboard. Everything is given good value and all that. Procreate rules, because sitting on a couch, yeah, I mean, the thing about it is I've seen comic book colorists or people that are using Procreate, like doing it on a couch, in the living room, or they're on a bus, or you could do it anywhere. I mean, I guess you can get quit paint on your laptop and bring it up everywhere, but it's also the simplicity of Procreate. So if you missed it earlier, there's a reason why I only have one part of the cover. And it's because I printed this out before, but it clipped like 1/8 of an inch on either side, and I wanted to print it out again, so I got the whole image and didn't want to lose any part of the image. And of course, I waited to the last minute to do it before I start streaming for a week working on this. And I got a maintenance thing on my printer that I have to give some attention to, but I'll do that after the stream, because literally I would get nothing else done. But yeah, so next time I'll have the whole cover. The whole badass cover, and it is a badass cover. I posted this around like everywhere, and people seem to like it. People know what's good. And I'm so happy to see that the Blood Force Kickstarter is 3/4 there to being funded. I've been talking about it and sharing it everywhere. I got it pinned to the chat. Also I've been having it down below in my video description box, along with other books crowdfunding, and some aren't crowdfunding currently. But I'm all about promoting what I like. And it wasn't too long ago that I came across Mitch and what would eventually be Blood Force. But I've seen other creators doing a sort of 90s thing. I think the first person I saw doing it was Shelby Robinson. I don't know if you guys know Shelby, but he's a fantastic artist, inker. He's worked on Rob Liefeld's books. I mean, Sheldon himself has said, like, he's he's done Rob's work in the past. And not giving Sheldon credit. So stuff happens. I need to try printing digital on boards to traditionally ink myself. Yeah, it's a gift that, like, I mean, most of my career I've worked off of pencils, meaning, like, people would mail me or FedEx me, or I get pages in the mail. And it's great to work on pages. The best thing is I don't have to freaking erase anything at the end. But it's also because of some deals I have, at the end of inking a book, now I have all the artwork. Like, I am hired for my inks, and I just, I scan the pages when I'm done and hand them in, put them in the Dropbox and make sure the publisher, editor, or whatever artist has them, approves of them. But then I have my ink page that I could sell on top of the job itself. But yeah, it was an adjustment at first, because I've been, working on original pencils my whole career. But once I got used to it, kind of like it. Genuine. Now I could start. Genuine's here. What's up, Dave? I'm just inking this cover you might have heard of. The book. What's it called? Blood Force. Yeah, man. Like, I used to have a shitty little printer scanner. It was something I like, when I moved to this town where I am currently, I didn't have either. And so I got, I bought my friend's shitty little scanner. The printer of it didn't work. But it was good enough at that time for what I needed. I wasn't printing out pages back when, but I was scanning a lot of stuff. But yeah, I had to go to copy centers in town to get pages printed if the need arose. That was early into me doing that. And every time I was there for like a half hour, an hour, explaining what the hell I needed and how they should do it. Like, it's such a foreign thing to them. Just, like a neighborhood copy place. I had no idea what I was talking about. There was one guy with experience that knew what I was talking about, but then machines at his place weren't totally capable of getting what I needed. It was just, it was a world-class pain until I got my own useful printer scanner here. World-class pain. So is such is the way. You learn, you grow, you expand. To explain what I'm doing, I'm just throwing down lines, mostly outlines. I'm only working with half the cover because I have to see what my printer needs. I have to clean the maintenance box or some sort of thing. Once I get that done, I'll print out the other side of the cover. Mitch will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be going earlier. I'll be starting at 2 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern Time. If you wish to join us then, and I'm sure Mitch has a lot to talk about in regards to this cover. He worked on the pencils on his channel. So I'm not going too extravagantly different in regards to what's down on the paper. It's more like I'm getting a feel of what's to come. My thinking style and approach will really come through once I get into the details of it. And plus, I think it's a great piece as it is. I don't want to go too crazy, too nuts. I do like to keep true to the artist's original intention. We'll see, I may make it look like that in the end. Wait, I joined the Patreon. My Patreon? Oh, awesome, dude. Thank you so much. What's the estimation of pages you plan on doing for Nice Monster for the first arc? I mean, if there are arcs. Well, I wanted to start it this month, but I don't think I'll have a schedule as to how many pages this month. It's more in the creation stage, at least the visual creation. We already have a script. I would like to do at least a page a week. More if possible. Now, my idea is that I'll draw it comic book size. So it won't, like, this is 11 by 17. This is a standard size for doing covers and comic pages. But if I do it comic book size, you know, like 8 by 10 or whatever it is exactly, it might save me a lot of time. And plus, I'm kind of thinking it might be more of a rough style, meaning I won't be as particular about it being not so crystal clean and perfect. But we'll see. Like there's what my intention is, and what develops along the way might be two completely different things. But thank you so much, dude. That's so nice of you. You like my first Patreon in so long. Frank. I was wondering who's he calling Frank? Oh yeah, my Frank. You know, it's funny with this. I initially, like, and you can see the different stages I posted on, you know, Instagram and other places, but I did a very simple outline and was almost going just to keep it kind of clean and simple. But then I went insane, and I love it. I love it like this, but I am thinking of developing a simple style so I could do like art every day throughout the week. Saboteur. Welcome. Aloha. Weren't you here before? Wait a minute. Maybe not. It's welcome. Glad you made it. I lose track of who came already. But yeah, you know, I really like the way the quirky nature of my Frankenstein came out. I initially wanted to do a batch of monsters, you know, for Halloween and all that, but Halloween's long gone. I just got too much work and got sidetracked. It tends to happen. So yeah, nice monster. Yeah, I would like for at least to get 4 pages out of a month. And I was thinking, like, when I get the first issue done, you know, I'm thinking of it like a comic. So eventually it's going to be comic length, which might not be 20 or 22 pages. It might be like 28 pages, but we'll see. We'll see what a comic length is. And I was thinking, like, down the line, maybe after a few issues of it, that I'll start printing them out, but you know, for my patrons. So, like, say you at that point have pledged $20, maybe you'll get the first 3 copies, you know, without paying anything extra. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, I haven't worked out the details, but that's things I have in my mind. You know, I do know that I love inking. I've been inking 34 plus years. I will never give up inking, but if I'm going to make some decent money, it's not going to be by inking other people. It's going to be by working on my own books, by owning characters, by being able to print copies up and sell them for my lifetime. Having your own IPs, it's where it's at. And I've known this like most of my career. Time I get off my ass and start producing my own books. And I'm going to be working with other writers. I'm going to be working with other pencilers. I might do a couple of different anthologies. As far as, like Retro as a superhero, I might have a whole sort of Avengers team of them. We shall. I love comics, and I love being a part of the creative process. My business side has never actually it's not my dominant side. My artistic side has been my dominant side of my personality. But yeah, I'm just pushing myself lately. I'll be working on my own books more, and then getting a lot of past work done. Like I said, I have a graphic novel that is going to be like 150 pages. We'll be crowdfunding it in February is the goal right now. That's called Faction Paradox. It was originally an Image book, or printed by Image, published by Image, I mean. Yeah, it was originally conceived of as an ongoing series. 2 issues came out. We were working on the 3rd, but the numbers weren't there. Another writer came to me with an idea to finish the story in a sense, and got the approval of the original writer. And so now it's a graphic novel. We're actually using the pages from the original series. So that was like 15 pages per issue. We had the first 2 issues and 6 pages of the 3rd, something like that. I think it's 32 pages. I could be wrong. So those are Jim Calfury. The new artist is Les Lyndon Gardner. He's pretty fantastic. He's like super fast, Kirby fast penciler. So he's working on a bunch of different books right now. He's kind of been a little bit of a inspiration for me to kick things into high gear. I'm not a big name, and not, super well known. The lines are looking pretty good. Thanks, Montoya. One of the things I gotta upgrade, besides my lighting, which I realize it isn't the best, is I found a new webcam I want. Like, I researched it. Like, this webcam I'm using, it may be dated, like years and years old, but it's supposedly the best one for what I need it for. But I don't freaking like the driver settings. it's not giving me the controls I want. And I can't zoom in without doing a lot of finagling. So it's a pain in the ass. So I realized like what I'm doing is at a distance, but is what it is for the time being. But yeah, in many ways, I'll have a lot of crowdfunders and books come out next year. So it's a good time to know me now. Stuck up to me now. You know, while I'm drowning in work right now, I'll probably be, you know, have people coming at me left and right next year. But I tell you, I'm going to be a lot more selective. I'm going to be, you know, no is not part of my vocabulary. But it's going to become part of my vocabulary. Because I'm going to become a lot more selective and, you know, like choose my own work over others first. Because at a certain point, you just got to put your foot down. You know, I mean, I've been fortunate to mostly always have work. Recent years is like the exception. But there was a lot of life in my life going on, and I've always been just like happy to be working. But you know, I'm putting my foot down on what my worth is valued at, and what my time is valued at. Because I wanna do what I do much better too, and I can't afford to work for a cup of coffee for a page of comics. OBS bot just got the is the OBS bot account webcam? Because I know OBS is a program. Looks pretty good, and the app for it has a lot of manual controls. That sounds promising. I'll look it up at least. How do you like that, Monty? Yes, Monty, we want to know. You know, part of what like a large part of my day and time, besides doing my own work, is supporting others in this field. Because I truly believe that we all need to do better. And all of us doing better is good for all of us. God damn it. Loving so far. Yep, webcam. How did you get good at drawing? What kind of practice did you do? And Monty says, loving so far. That's awesome. Yeah, I gotta look that up. Sheldon, well, okay, so the story is my origin in comics is like, you know, I've drawn all my life. You know, I remember drawing when I was 5 and probably younger. But I wasn't serious about anything in my life until I made the decision to do comics for a living. You know, before I made the decision to, because I did go to art school. I did go to high school art and design. I did go to college. I went to New York Technical College in Brooklyn. High school, I took up cartooning and animation. You know, like it was everything, but that was the title. And in college, it was a 4-year college. I only did 2 years, but that was advertising art. And you know, it was one day, like I worked a 9 to 5. I was an outdoor messenger, then I became an indoor messenger working for companies. Then I worked in the mailroom, then I ran a mailroom. It was like every 2 years I worked for some other company at a better position, better money. This was while I was in school to just before I worked in comics. And my brother was already working in comics. He asked me one day if I would be willing to help a friend of his out who had to make a deadline. And so I said yes, and that sounds like fun. And you know, my brother said I can make a couple bucks. When is making a couple bucks a bad thing? So it turned out to be Mark Textiera, who was working on Ghost Rider at the time, and we all went up to the Marvel bullpen. Back then, there was no security. That night, there was nobody else in the office. And just sitting in the bullpen, filling in blacks on pages of Ghost Rider, tossing them around, looking around the offices, seeing posters and the madness that was the production, the bullpen, seeing all the editorial offices all around. It took me 10 minutes to make a decision that I wanted to do comics for a living. That anything before, you know, I was always thinking of, you know, art as precious and blah, blah, blah. I put that all out of my mind. And I knew also right at that time that I wasn't so great. You know, I knew my way in was as an inker, but I knew I wasn't so great, even going to art school and all that, blah, blah. So kind of the short answer is, how did I get good, is with a lot of practice. Because the first 2-3 years, literally, I was, you know, like late 20s, early 30s, you know, started comics when I was 28, essentially. And I worked every day, Monday to Monday, just ongoing. I worked all the hours I was up, and sometimes through the night. I got work by going to conventions. There was no internet. I had no other network. I would meet independent creators or small publishers. I was like, I'm an inker looking for work. I'd show them copies of things I've worked on, blah, blah, blah. But any moment that passed that I wasn't working on actual paying pages, I was practicing. I was copying shit out of comics and with a brush, with a quill. I was just training myself, you know. I did it day and night and on and on. And like I said, I knew I sucked, and You know, at one point I was working at Valiant Comics. That's where I met a bunch of great artists and people, and a lot of them you still have a kinship with today. But you know, Cal Fury was definitely the person. Well, I was working up there, like I would show him stuff all the time. And I was like, here's some independent book I'm working on right now. And like, I remember specifically, and you know, that was in the 90s, I was working on a book called Razor, which was, you know, an adult bad girl comic. There was like a good amount of blood in it and nudity and whatnot, all the good stuff. And he saw my improvement. So a couple of years later, when he got the Aquaman gig and he was looking for another inker, because he had Mark McKenna as like sort of his regular inker, but Mark was busy when he got the Aquaman offer. So he like he had it so good, Cal Fury, that it was up to him who got hired as an inker. And Cal Fury mailed me, or FedExed me, a couple of pages of Aquaman panels that he re-penciled so I could ink them. And I did a page of them. I didn't do the 2 pages, but I did 1 page of them. And I went up to the DC and gave them to the editor. And the editor said, well, these look good, but it's up to Jim if we hire you. Love Razor. Yeah, I worked on a bunch of that with a couple of different artists. Did I miss a comment? Yeah, bro, that saying about rising tides raises all boats, something like that, yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, you know, it's like I knew the level of my ability and I just worked hard at getting better at it. And I kind of feel the same way. It's like, as an artist, I'm okay. You know, the good thing is I have the ability as a decent inker to make crap look good, you know. So like, while I'm still working on my penciling ability, I could cover it with my better inking ability. But I am more and more focused on improving my penciling ability. And who knows, like, you know, I've written some stuff, mostly obscure and unseen. You know, who knows, like I may be sucky as a writer too, creator, and need to work on that. You know, I think I'm pretty decent because, you know, it's like I know what I like and I know how to put that in a script, kind of thing. But, you know, in the end, it's just comics. It's not high literature. It's easy enough. Depending on who you ask. Yeah, so I'll go for another 15 minutes or so, if anybody's wondering. Was that when it was London Night Studios? Yes, it was. Was there a team or a place you all went to? It was London Night Studios. It was Everett Hartzell was the publisher. I worked at home when I was working on Razor. The penciler, I think Rich Rich Pollard was the penciler I worked on the most, and I believe Rich is Virginia. And back when I was working on that, I was in New York, specifically in Brooklyn. And yeah, it was a fun book to work on. And I think I worked on that more than some other independent books I worked on. Did a bunch of issues, but it was a little push and pull because me and Rich were on the phone a lot. And I always wanted to give him the best his pencils were. He was a big fan of Alan Davis, and his work looked like it. But sometimes I would get on the phone with Everett, and Everett had a just different opinion of where the art should go. I never liked talking to people and getting two different, pushing me in two different directions. But somehow I think I made them both happy. As an inker, I consider myself flexible and adjustable. Meaning I could deliver scratchy inks or clean inks, or like look exactly like the pencils look, only tightened up, or I could deliver a lot of different ways. I don't work well with everybody, but all right, let's see. Yes, that was London Night. Good amount of progress for reading Jetson Hager questions, Steve. I'm trying to improve that. I'm not always on the ball. Caught me at a good day. Very cool. I was wondering how small companies were, especially in the 90s. Yeah. We all worked individually, had our own studios in our homes. And it was either FedEx or regular mail. I know lots of other people had horror stories, but I don't think I ever lost a single page. So fingers crossed that always continues. Love Alan Davis. Yeah, Alan Davis rocks. And my friend Rich was a big fan. If you haven't already, give this video a like. Like I said earlier, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you really want to support me, become a Patreon. There's links down below. There's also a link to PayPal, where you can throw me a tip, a couple of bucks, a couple of thousand, whatever you prefer. It's up to you. I'm not pushy. But I do know, like, I'm intent on growing more as an individual than I have been in many years. I had a great tragedy befall me back in the summer of 22, where I lost my ex, and really took it out of me for a while. My business tanked. Everything went to zero. I got lost as to what the hell am I doing? What am I doing it for? But I crawled back, as we all must, and I'm more focused. But I still got to do better, financially speaking. I'm a small-time guy, just doing, regardless of the quality of my work, I'm still a small-time guy. But I know I have the potential to get somewhere much better. Get better paying gigs coming my way, better books. you know, I know I worked for Mobile in DC back in the day. I wouldn't turn anything down from them if they called me today, but it's not where my mindset is right now. I would love to freaking work for Top Cow. That's always been a dream. And now, you know, like, I guess Witchblade is back already, and they're talking about now bringing back the Darkness. Not that I see myself on either book, but you know, who knows? Who knows? But I was just watching a Marcus Vespri interview. That guy's so good. I would love to be a part of that studio, as long as it didn't, you know, didn't mean me giving up my own characters and dreams. Hey, Sheldon. Yeah, you know, life sucks a lot of times, but you move on and hopefully grow from it. Glad to hear your focus and have new goals. Yep. I was too. So that same interview. There you go. Locke is great. He's fantastic. That stuff. Glad you're getting back up to speed. Yeah, you know, nobody's going to push for you. You know, you're the one that's going to push yourself. You know, there's the saying that nobody's going to save you. Plenty of people can save you, but it's really up to you to like know what the hell you want to learn. And I've been around here a long time. It's about time to make a bigger impact. So let's make this happen. Yeah. All right. I guess I'll put it out there. Like, does anybody have questions per se, or like I open the chat up to, if you want to promote anything, you can talk about it, and I'll make sure everybody in the chat gets a wrench for future live streams. You can then start dropping links. You know, I want to grow myself and get better at all my skills. I want to grow this channel so I can get fucking monetized, make a bundle every time I live stream like some other people. Improve my equipment so you can see what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, the whole shebang. And thank you all for showing up. Hey, it's Mike. See, I won't be anybody until I get the chance to ink Mike. Glad you could join us, Mike, even though I'll be leaving in about 6 minutes or so. You know, live streaming all week. There's a playlist for every day on live streaming and what time. Mostly it's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time zone. But tomorrow will be 2 o'clock. I'll be joined by the one and only Mitch, the writer-creator of said book and penciler of this cover. Working on comics, nothing finished, so nothing to promote yet. What's the genre? What can you tell us? Divulge right now. Montoya, what are you working on, Mike? JJ, have you been in the chat? I haven't seen you. I have something. What are you working on, JJ? I am happy by everybody's presence here tonight. I don't think my chat's been this full for just me and me alone in a while. You know, I've had guests on, and there's been more people in the chat, but I said, working on scripts and just sketch covers right now. Cool. And JJ says, trying to promote a comic master list. Are you sharing it on your YouTube? If people put your name in, maybe see your comic master list. That sounds familiar. Are you on Instagram? Montoya says, working on Ashcan, put a Blood Force Discord challenge. Yes, working digitally and started to redraw a comic traditionally that I did in high school. Both are 90s stuff. Awesome. Yeah, I you know, it's like I would so be a part of that, and I thought I might even do a short 90s style story, but I got so much work. I shouldn't even attempt it. But that's cool. I look forward to seeing that, buddy. My kids tend to control my free time, so I luckily made sure try to catch this. I'll watch later to get caught up. Oh, awesome. I appreciate you, everybody coming by. This is awesome. I'm just inking away. Saboteur says. Nice. I think we follow each other. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Is your Instagram name JJ, or you know, you can't throw links down, but you could tell people, you know, if anybody wants to promote where they could find you online and all that here, then by all means. Like I said, I'm going to throw wrenches around to everybody after the stream ends. So look forward to some wrenches. Let's see. Mike says, what comics over there? Hey, JJ, can't wait for Master List launch. Awesome. Just my own book, Mike, called Tommy's. Cool. Yeah, I guess we're at the end. I don't want to go. I don't want to end this. You know, it started out rough, this stream. But it's ended in a very good place. And I'm glad you all showed up, and I'm glad I got a bunch done. I'm gonna, like I said, figure out my printer. It needs to be cleaned or updated or maintenance or something. So I can print out the other half of this and really get going tomorrow. Sheldon asks, did you make a new channel, or is this a new handle at JJ? Yes, let us know before I hang up. But yeah, I'm glad you all been here. I wasn't actually centered, but you get the idea. Yeah, I'll give my YouTube spiel again for anybody that catches the last seconds. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, give this video a like. Please feel free to share it with your friends, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you are at. The more people, more likes I get on this, the more comments below the video that people will put later. More people across YouTube see it, so then my channel will grow. Look great video, awesome stream. Until next time, thank you again all for showing. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, and all week we're working on this great big cover. Oh, okay. Crack. Okay, JJ. Yeah, I know you. Awesome. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Keep making comics. Keep making art. And as